He would become one of the most famous of United States Marines, a Corps legend, and on his way to becoming the 19th Commandant of the Marine Corps in 1948. He would lead a platoon, then a company, then a regiment, and finally a division into battle. It was a somewhat unlikely destiny, perhaps, considering his origins were pastoral rather than martial to much degree. It had been expected that young Cliff Cates, born to some wealth at a long-held family cotton farm known as Cates Landing, Tennessee, at a spot where the broad Mississippi River dips south, and then violently north again as it meanders toward the one-time earthquake epicenter at New Madrid, Missouri, would someday become a yeoman farmer and businessman like his father and grandfather, or an attorney, handling civil cases instead of ammunition boxes, under a shingle to be hung in Memphis, Knoxville, or maybe Nashville. But as with some of the nation's other notable military commanders who came from the soil, Clarence Hubner comes to mind, as do Dwight Eisenhower and Ulysses S. Grant, Cates would find his calling as a lifer in the United States military. A world war that had not even been a shadow as Cliff gambled among the fields and along the riverbanks of the Mississippi as a boy, would provide the setting for a permanent career change, and provide as well the battlefields on which he would display the utter fearlessness and cool-headedness that would make him a Marine Corps legend. Anderson Cates, his grandfather, had been born in North Carolina, but, like many restless souls of the time, meandered west, arriving in northwest Tennessee in 1836 with but $2 to his name. He went to work as an overseer on a local plantation, and by the late 1840s had saved enough to purchase the riverfront acreage that would come to be known as Cates Landing. There, the pioneer Anderson Cates finally put down roots, taking a wife, Alice Jane Emily Peacock, in August 1848. She soon died, and he remarried, this time to Susan Box, and together they farmed and produced 9 children between 1851 and 1868. A biography would note that while Mr. Cates was a Methodist, he was also a Democrat, among whose ranks were, as the historian James McPherson would put it, yeoman farmers in the upcountry or backcountry who disliked city slickers, merchants, banks, Yankees, or anybody who might interfere with their freedom to live as they pleased. Anderson Cates's 5th child, Willis Jones Cates, was born in 1860. He would spend his life improving and prospering from his father's hard work, operating 3 cotton gins, farming the land, overseeing a general store at the landing, and also serving on the board of directors of the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Tiptonville, 10 miles south. Willis took as his wife a local girl from a prominent family, Martha Maddie Darnall Bledsoe, whose maternal grandfather, Henry McKinney Darnall, at the age of 30 in 1838, had been made captain of the local militia. From then on he was known in accordance with peculiar Southern tradition as the General, despite declining a commission with the Rebs, and despite being just one of only 2 men in Obion County to vote against secession. With one hand on the plow and another on a ledger, Willis was regarded as one of Lake County's most stolid citizens. While not hasty in reaching a conclusion, his mind, when once made up, was unchangeable, his obituary in the local paper would read. Modest and retiring of disposition, and slow to put himself forward, nevertheless he possessed that force of character and strength of purpose that enabled him to face every situation squarely and to do justice though the heavens fall. The first of 2 children born to Willis and Maddie Cates, a daughter Catherine, would arrive in 1896. Clifton Bledsoe Cates was born at the family's riverbank home on August 31, 1893. As he grew, his cherubic face and soft features belied an inner strength developed through a childhood that rivaled that of Tom Sawyer, as his parents allowed young Cliff Cates plenty of room to roam, and plenty of time to explore the woods and the waters of the Mississippi, in which 6-foot-long catfish still lolled at the bottom, and where the canebrakes and old-growth forests spreading east and south were still rife with targets. Davy Crockett, years before, had hunted the same land, and on one single day, it was said, he killed 25 black bears within the borders of Obion County. Wild hogs, leftovers from Hernando de Soto's early explorations of the area, still posed a threat to a young boy, and water moccasins and the remaining bears and other fauna also